And welcome back to Lantern Corp video. And today's Lantern Corp video comes to us, if I'm not mistaken, from Wade Wilson and Jay Lyon, who asked the question, what Lantern Corps does Harley Quinn belong in? Oh, and I remember also gave me this one. What Lantern Corps does Harley Quinn belong in? So, this is kind of a loaded question because it depends what interpretation of Harley Quinn you're looking at. Harley is a character first off introduced in the animated series. She was not a canon comic character until then, but she took off so well they made her an official comic character, and she's now part of the canon, been for many years. Most people love her. But she's gone through a lot of ups and downs as a character. She's gone from loving the Joker to hating the Joker, for example. So it's a really weird question you gotta ask yourself when saying what Lantern Corp does she best qualify for. So, I didn't want to go just one straight answer. I wanted to at least give two answers minimum. But when I really broke it down, at best I can think of maybe two different Lantern Corps based on different points in her time that she could have qualified for. So, let's break it down. First off, let's get a couple out of the way that I don't think she qualified for. She has taken too many lives to be really... She's very lively, very energetic, very much enjoys living. But she also enjoys taking life and killing, and just about any version of her. Even if she didn't, even for the few that were, she's kind of reformed. She's still taking a lot of life in her day. So white doesn't work. White Lantern Corps life doesn't work. But death doesn't work either because she does still have somewhat of a conscience as a person, especially as she gets reformed in later comic storylines. So it's not like the Joker who revels in death and destruction, so that could theoretically give him a qualification for the Black Lantern Corps. While Harley's taking a lot of life, she's not like the embodiment of death. That's like the third weird stipulation of the Black Lantern Corps. The primary ones are you're either dead, have died. That's normally it. The third oddball scenario, though, is that you are so enveloped in death, you relish taking life, and you are pretty much death personified in a loving body. You can still qualify for for the Black Lantern Corps. So that's out. Hope is a weird one. I had considered it, but it doesn't really fit in my mind. See, hope is essentially, it's faith. It's in many cases, anyone with a religious background who is deeply invested with their religion would be qualified for the Hope Lantern Corps. With Harley, I mean, yeah, she held out hope for her and Mr. J, but that's more blinded by love than anything else. So that's more Star Sapphire. And then hoping maybe she can reform, but she never truly is able to reform. So I don't think whatever hope she's had, she can't really hold on to very well. Likewise, she's not the greediest. She just wants Mr. J when she, was with the Joker. And then kind of just wants her own freedom, really. Just to do what she wants. That's really where her avarice... I mean, she can be greedy and selfish, but she's not a Lex Luthor type who's never satisfied. She's not a Larfleeze who's never satisfied. So that doesn't work in her favor. Lantern Corps, one Lantern Corps that obviously does work in her favor is the Star Sapphires. Obviously, it all depends on what point in time you're looking at her. But when you factor in her obsession with the Joker, her love for the Joker, her love for Poison Ivy, other lovers she's had deep affection for, love is a very strong candidate for her. It really does work kind of in her favor to some degree. It's just one of those Lantern Corps that kind of fits what she originally was designed as. Obviously, later down the road, things changed, but if we're going by the original basis of her character, I think love is always going to be a prime candidate. Then going over a couple more Lantern Corps I just didn't think she qualified for. The Indigo League of Compassion. The problem is that she's crazy, but she's not crazy in the same... she doesn't lack empathy. That's the weird thing. In some regards, she does. But at another point, she can feel sorry for individuals. She can help others out. It's weird. She definitely has some compassion, but only for the right people. She's compassionate towards Ivy, who is... I don't know if they're still best friends. I imagine she's still her best friend. And former / current, I don't know what the current storyline with them is. I don't think they're our current lovers, but former lover. So she's loved her as a friend and as a lover. So it makes sense that she would have compassion for her. She also has compassion for other villainesses, other villain friends that she's had. So she can definitely have compassion. I just don't think it's their defining trait. Green here's the thing. You would think after overcoming everything she's overcome, like the Joker's mind control, being a villain, sometimes being an anti-hero, that will could work for her. But the problem is we've seen that she is a really easy to bend. I mean, look what happened to her in her origin. The Joker broke her will and basically made her his slave. It's clear that she certainly got willpower, like she can muscle through, but it's clear her will's been broken too many times for her to really qualify for will. And last, before we get into the only other one I think she could qualify for, fear. I don't think Harley Quinn is really a good choice for good candidate for Atlantic Corp failure either. Now, why don't I think that? Because really, even though Harley Quinn can be a menace, can be dangerous, and can be scary at points, most people's response to her is less about fear and more of annoyance. Batman's not afraid. I mean, technically, Batman's not really afraid of any villain. He might be afraid of what they'll do, but not actually the villain themselves. But Batman just finds Harley Quinn more annoying than anything else. But then again, that's Batman. That might not be a fair comparison per se. But most superhero heroes that we see go up against Harley Quinn find her more irritating than actually scary. And I mean, you could definitely make the argument she is scary, and she can be, as she has been. Like she splayed someone's face, put over Deadshot one comic, and started to make out with him. I think it was the Joker's face, wasn't it? So yeah, it's not like she's psychotic. She's not sane. But I just don't think that this type of whatever type of psychopathy she actually has, whatever level of it, it doesn't work in this case for fear. So the only Atlantic Corp we really need to go over then is Rage. Now why Rage? Well, here's the thing, is that throughout a good chunk of her comic career, I wouldn't call her a good qualifier for Rage. But when she basically was able to break out of the Joker's mind control, the influence he had on her, and basically become her own person once again, she harbored a deep fucking hatred for him. Like, she nearly killed him at one point. I think as long, again, I don't know what current comics are going by. If she's not with him at the moment and she's on her own, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want anything to do with him. I think if given the choice, she'd kill him again. Or she'd try to kill him again. She would not let him live. So I do think at certain iterations of her history, she definitely could have qualified for a Red Lantern. Certainly she could have. But if you're going to ask me, yeah, I think Star Sapphire is the better choice between the two. Certain points in her history, definitely a Red. Almost always a Sapphire, though. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the obvious answer being the right one, in my opinion. And again, that doesn't make my answer even the right one. That just makes it my opinion. If you think she belongs in a different Lantern Corps, let me know in the comments below. But until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything to do with the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. And hit that bell if you want notifications. So, I've actually got 2 magic videos to do because we've got announcements for the next year's sets and next year's magic sets, and we got a bunch of stuff spoiled or revealed finally for Zendikar Rising. So stay tuned for those. But thanks for watching, and I got a what if tomorrow, and I'll probably have, because now we're going into spoiler season or preview season, so I'll probably have day-to-day spoilers if I can, or videos for the magic set. Until then, though, thanks for watching. See you next time. Later.